Hello, hello everybody. My name is Nick. Welcome to Angel Learning Video Tutorials. Welcome on my channel. Today I will have more than a video tutorial. It's my advice for people who is in IT, people involved in IT. I know it's will be a very difficult, a very tricky subject today. This subject is about modern slavery in IT. And I don't say it is or it's not. I will let you to tell me in your comments after. I will let you to tell me if is a modern slavery in IT, if exists a modern slavery in IT or not, and how can be. I will all what I will explain today. It's mm, my vision, what I saw, what I detected, what I think, my personal opinion. Okay, so in this case, I will discuss a little bit today about something like that. I will explain to people why I think sometimes exists modern slavery in IT, and also sometimes is not. Actually, in my opinion, a very thin border between a legal part and a modern slavery in IT, and I tell you how. Let's start with the first thing. Let's start with software developers. In general, I will discuss today about software developers, so about software development, but can be applied also for others like DevOps, DevOps engineers or IT trainers or system administrators or analysts or so on and so on and so on and so on. Okay, so in this case, we will discuss a little bit about this. All the time, every time when you apply, even if you apply for a contract and if you are a freelancer or you want a new job, a new permanent position, when you want to be an employee, you need to apply for a position, okay? And there, first thing what you can see is what? Description about the company, blah 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 blah, marketing in general. Great. By the way, all companies are number one in the field. Probably you saw that. I didn't see a company saying, "Oh, I'm not quite the first one, in my field, but I can improve." Or just a couple of them I saw, and the rest all are number one in the field. Okay, good. And if when you ask, there will be three into a bedroom or something. Anyway, um, what you want to know after that is after you see some marketing about the company is the requirements. Basically, any kind of software developer want to have some requirements, correct? So job requirements in our case. Job requirements means what they want from you. What they want from you, what you need to have as a skills, skills for this job. So they will start saying, I want someone as a software developer having 3 years in IT and blah 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 blah, and so on so on so on. Okay, good. This is an introductory, basically what I said now, and after that I will enter in details and I will show you how come, in my opinion, some companies cross over the border of legal border to say like that, going a little bit probably in modern slavery in IT. I'm not saying here it is or it's not. I'm not saying I'm not a lawyer to say by the law. It's my opinion. I'm a guy who have 20 years experience in IT and I'm postgraduate in computer science. So in this case, I think in all these 20 years I had a lot of time to explain to people what is and what I saw in all these 20 years in IT. Okay, good. So um, you have their requirements. Perfect. You have some requirements And the requirements said, I want, or our company wants someone who is a software developer, .NET, Java, doesn't matter what technology, who have 3 years, for example, okay, have 3 years as a software developer, have some skills. Let's start with some software developers, middle level, for example. I will discuss about middle level, entry level, middle level, senior level. Also, the people who are senior level in software development need to be focused here because they can detect a lot of good stuff, to say like that. So they have some requirements like to be a software developer, having 3 years in software development as a software developer. That's for middle levels, to say like that. 3 5 to 5 years, it's middle level. Okay, let's say something like that. 3 4 years in or plus 3 plus because I love that with three plus. I mean 3 or more than 3 years. I mean it can be 20, but it's 3 plus. Okay, so basically minimum 3 years in IT, in computer science, or in software development. Good. What is there? It's other requirements. So let's start. I will not be focused on soft skills. I don't care too much to discuss about that. Exists a culture, company culture. Also, there can be a little bit of discrimination because you need to have that or that or that or that. So probably exists some discrimination, including in company's culture. But let's say it's in part of soft skills, communication, how you are, blah blah blah. Good. Let's go directly in the technical skills, in the technical part. So first skill is, for example, let's try with a .NET developer, middle level. Perfect. As an example. Need to have 3 years in .NET, C Sharp, ASP.NET, and so on and so on. Okay, so C Sharp, ASP.NET, front end, back end. I mean, have some Angular probably, or have some C Sharp with some backend services like web services and so on. It's a full stack software developer. Till now, no discrimination, no possibility of modern slavery. Don't exist the possibility of modern slavery. But they continue and say need to have some skills in cloud, for example, Azure, AWS, doesn't matter, Google, so on. To know to deal a little bit with that. It's not a modern slavery there. It's okay. It's fine. It's not. You need to know if you are a software developer working in cloud, working with microservices, for example, stuff like that. You need to know how to use a Docker, to have a container on Docker and stuff like that. But I saw I saw a lot of companies, unfortunately, a lot of them check the job platforms. And you will see a lot of companies who have requirements something like, well, you need to have some skills in cloud, but that skills to be like this: Kubernetes, Terraform, um, Docker, and so on and so on. To have some insights, to know some how to deal with that, to with identity in Azure, for example, or in AWS, other security, and so on and so on. In that moment, in my opinion, it's modern slavery. Why? It's easy. You need to know when is the border for software developer and when cross the border and go in DevOps. DevOps engineer do exactly that, doing pipelines, using Kubernetes, using Terraform to create in code, to create everything in what is necessary for infrastructure, cloud infrastructure. You, as a software developer, in my opinion, it's not necessary to know that. But a lot of companies Sorry to say that a lot of companies started to optimize their budget. They optimize their budget as much as possible. And I saw a lot of managers, directors who don't have a clue about IT too much, or others worse, who don't care about people, so they push a lot with everything. Why not? If you do everything is possible, fine for them. In general, I saw for small companies, 3, 4 developers, when they have just that, they need the developer to do everything, absolutely everything. So, you as a developer, you need to know coding, you need to know front end, back end. Perfect. It's a full stack software developer. You need to know a little bit of cloud. Yes, you need to know a little bit how to use DevOps, for example, to go with Git in cloud or using some stuff in cloud, how to do, for example, an Azure a function and deploy, send that in cloud. In general, you need, after you develop, to send to a DevOps engineer. And that guy need to make the compilation, deployments, pipelines, and everything. So that's why you need to know what you need for you as a software developer. So something like um, you don't need to know Kubernetes. You don't need to know Terraform. That's definitely for a DevOps engineer. It's not for you. Definitely, that's not for you. So in that case, in my opinion, in the moment when a company start to ask you more than what is your part with cloud, I mean also full DevOps operations. It's already so it's not just part. The software developer definitely is not your part. Also, let's continue, and company said, I want also another requirement is something like, I want my software developer to do training to the entry levels. If you are middle level or senior level, let's say yes, it's not bad. You can do some training or mentoring for your people. But when you are just a software developer and they ask you, please do a full training process for entry levels in your teams, projects, and also other type of stuff, then it's more than just a software developer. In that moment, you are also an IT trainer. So they want to optimize their budget. You will go in modern slavery. Why I say modern slavery? Modern slavery because in my opinion, it's modern slavery also when you work multiple jobs paid just for one. It's something like this. Like I said till now, you are a software developer, so you work to develop software to implement the code. But they want you also in DevOps with Terraform and so on. So that's operations, DevOps engineer, the second job. And probably they want you to be also some trainer for all stuff possible in the company. So that's IT trainer also. Also, three jobs for the moment. Let's say if you are middle level to senior level or senior level, they will start to put you to say, you are good to do leadership, but be careful. Some of them don't want just leadership. If they want you to be a team leader, leadership like that, um, for your team or to be moderate also with the manager, so consultant for a manager, a high consultant for a manager, yeah, that's your job also as a senior. But it's not your job when they will start to say, oh guy, um it's good for you because you are a senior, so also you can do that with Azure or other clouds, so DevOps operations. So also you can do training, but also you can do this with leadership. But actually it's management because they will go. over the border, and they will say, can you do buffering with the client? Buffering with the client means you to communicate with their client, you to communicate to take information from the client, doing reports directly to the client, and so on and so on. In that moment, you're IT manager. That's an IT manager do. Okay, so in that moment, you're not just a leader, do leadership, you do IT management. So in that moment, it's more than just you to be a senior software developer. Okay, so look, why I think it's more than slavery. I tell you why. Because you will be paid for one as a software developer. The rest of three will be free. You will do it for free probably. Why? Because let's take a other image. You are a lorry driver, okay? A truck driver for people from America, lorry driver for people from Great Britain. So you will be a lorry driver, hired as a lorry driver, going with a truck. Good. But how is if your employer will say, oh, come on, if you know and you are a driver, you can be also a taxi driver for our company. Also a van driver, and why not work a little bit also in warehouse for us, but we will pay you only as a lorry driver. What do you think? You will take the job? I don't think so. A lorry driver, if a company asks a lorry driver, truck driver to do also to be a taxi driver for the same company, van driver for the same company, and also a little bit in the warehouse, believe me, in that moment, nobody will go to that. That's why, by the way, they have just few people who goes for jobs like that, also in IT. And it's a lack of software developers on the market. And people in IT recruitment don't have a clue why. That's why. Because people will not go to be modern slave, including in IT. They will not go to be modern slave, working as a software developer, as a DevOps engineer, I don't know, a little bit of management, some three, or also a trainer, or also as a tester, because exist other companies who said, ah, you are good. So if you are a senior, it's good for you to do also testing. Yes, it's good to do testing. If you do testing for your own code, unit tests and so on and so on, yes, it's okay. It's also okay to check others a little bit if you're senior. But if they ask you to do manual testing, code review, and stuff like that, guy, no. In that moment, believe me, you take another job as a tester or QA, quality assurance engineer. So look, 5 jobs in one job, paid with one salary. By the way, once that salary is for a software developer. So the rest of 4, you will do it for free. What the company do? Maximize their profit. Why? It's easy. Because they take someone who do 5 jobs, software developer, DevOps engineer, tester, trainer, and management. 5 with a salary probably of a senior software developer. But actually, it's 5 jobs. Software developer, DevOps engineer in operations, something else, trainer, IT trainer in training and other services, management, and so on. It's management, it's IT management, so it's in management, and so on and so on. Now you understand how thin is the border between modern slavery in IT. In my opinion, is modern slavery in IT and a normal job. Why? Because companies don't care too much, and less they care about an employee. They care about money. You're a point of value for them, point of profit. for them, okay? And because you are a point of profit for them, they don't care about you how if you have enough 24 hours. Probably you can come with some hours from home, more than 24 for one day to work. I don't know, you know. So in that moment, it's bad. That's why a lot of people who are software developers, for example, senior developers, they go over the time. They do overtime. I mean, more than it's that 8 hours of work. Why? Because they can't. You don't have time also to do management, buffering with the client. So see what is. You need to translate everything technical after that. By the way, architecture and so on and so on. I didn't put that. Let's say that is part of your part if you're senior. I don't say, but also there it's a software architecture job. So 6 jobs, a lot. Okay, you can do for a company for one job, one salary actually of a software developer. Um, do you realize to do all that you don't have time? So because you don't have time, you don't have time for that. You will um, start to be tired. You'll start to check something else, and that's why people in IT leave jobs. That's why companies in company culture have someone who's stable. Really? Stable means to stay to them till you die or till you are in pension. You know? All the time I said to my entry levels, middle levels, people who ask me, to my trainees and so on, students and so on, everybody asks me what I need to do to be careful when you choose a project, when you choose a contract, or when you choose a job as an employee, permanent. To be very careful what they want. Because if you check from 20, 30 jobs, it's a lot of jobs you saw. If you go on platforms, job carriers platform, what is the name? Jobs platform, www dot something and go there, jobs in IT. A lot. Why do you think it's a lot of them? Because it's an explosion and everybody do only IT in the entire world? No. Because everybody wants somebody. Okay, officially you will hear everybody expand their teams. Till the moon, till the Mars, till where? So can't, okay? So in this case, because it's migration of jobs, because it's migration of population, because it's not enough software developers who will accept to do 5 jobs at least for one salary. This is one thing. Management and company will be happy if you do that because they will optimize the budget. That's the official name, optimizing the budget. Basically, they will increase to the maximum, maximize the profit. That's one type of modern slavery, in my opinion. Another type of modern slavery is outsourcing. And I will tell you how. Outsourcing, if it's made by a company from the same country, like here in UK, companies who do software take people from your own country. Fine, brilliant. But when the companies, 80% of them from West will go in East, like Romania, Bulgaria, and so on, and Moldova, and so on and so on, taking people, a team, almost an entire team with the money, with the salary, one salary here. So here they will pay just one guy, one software developer. There they can pay an entire team. That's modern slavery. And it's not the company's fault from the West, it's the government's fault from the East. Because they will accept something like that. Because they accept outsourcing. What means outsourcing actually a legal one? An outsourcing a legal one, it's something like a company who do consultant for, will be consultant for you. That means you are not an IT company. You're I don't know, an haulage company to say like that, okay? And you need IT services, someone to develop some software for you, or someone to do some services, IT services for you, like IT support or whatever. And in that case, you don't need to have your IT department to pay all the time people. You will pay only when you need. And also the tax you will pay by that company, not by you, and so on and so on and so on. So that's outsourcing. I'm consultant, you use me when you need, done the project, go in other part. That's outsourcing. External to your company. You know? But when you as an IT company doing software development, you do outsourcing with other IT company, the same like your company, but in East. And by the way, a lot of companies who are in West have money in the companies in East, and they do business. In my opinion, that's a little bit of taking the money. And people, authorities in financials really need to check that. Because the same owner of the company from West probably have money in the company from East. But the company from East will work for company from West for half price because they keep lower salaries in East. Lower salaries. And by the way, in East, for example, in Romania, the salaries in IT are quite big. Equivalent, if you put out the salaries like a factory, wow, they have 300, 400 pounds a salary. So tell me if someone here will go with 300, 400 pounds salary per month. Nobody. So um, basically in East, I saw probably governments, I don't say, probably other people, probably some people, probably someone want that, but a higher level, probably in politics. Why? Because I can't see why not to have the same salary. Let's take two countries in the same EU. EU, okay? One company from West and another company from East. The headquarter and all management is made in the West. The production with half of the money basically is made in East. In my opinion, guys, that's modern slavery in IT. It's in the second type of modern slavery in IT. Why? Because you can't. It's not their fault. Again, it's not the fault of the company from West. They just go to do business. That's the business. They found a market, jump on, go, done, take the profit, maximize your profit, optimize the budget. Perfect, fine by me. Buy the book of business. But why governments and stuff in East accept that? That's a big problem. And in that moment, I will not say it's a modern slavery, possibility of modern slavery in IT imposed by West. It's imposed by East, by their own governments. Probably. Because in other case, the government will say, guys, whoa, my guy here have less than 1,000 euros salary. At the same level, the same position in West probably have 3,000 euros. Guys, what? Whoa, 2,000 plus minus. Can't be like that so much. Plus, in the East, take an example, Romania. In Romania, if you go as a guy who will create a company, you will have a lot of help from the government to say like that. You will not pay, for example, they don't pay taxes too much. A software developer in Romania don't pay taxes too much, or 10%, so very small. Something insignificant, something small. They help you, government help you money because you open jobs and so on and so on and so on. Plus the difference of salary. You win a lot because you have 3,000 euros in West, but 1,000 euros in East. So bank. Only that it's an optimization, maximization of profit. Plus what you have from the government, and all the money is sent it where? In West, to the headquarters. All the profit. So in that moment, in my opinion, that's possibility of modern slavery in IT, but also in other fields. That's why I said it's bad when someone apply this second, let's say, modern slavery. In my opinion, it's modern slavery when you do that and try to have money. Okay, from companies, they will come, they will jump on me quick and say, yeah, that's a business. We saw a market go there, bank. Correct. By the book, they proceed by the book. They are covered. But what's wrong with that part in East? There are two countries in the same EU, for example, one with this salary, another one with this salary in the same field, IT. This from East, work from that, from West. Huh? Looks okay, right? So, in my opinion, it's my personal opinion, it's a possibility of modern slavery. I don't say it's a modern slavery by the book. It's a possibility, but at least take it as a big question. When you're a software developer, take it, guys, as a big question when to stop as a software developer and you need to do more for a company who pay you with that just one salary, or when you're a businessman or a manager, when to stop to do that outsourcing. You can do a very nice outsourcing based on something. Yes, like I said, consultancy, bang, dang, dang, correct, but not with this big difference of the salaries. And let it is not the manager's fault from the west. It's the authorities from east. Cause let that. Eh? Sounds how sounds bad? Sounds good. So that's the bad thing. Okay. In that moment, you will see different with different eyes, with different in different perspectives. The IT, why not to have the same salary if you are in the same EU in two countries, part of EU? Why not to have to yeah? People will come now, will jump people from EU on me and hating me, haters and because it's part of the countries to do their own economics. Huh? That's why they pay to you. Because every country, if you don't know, pay some money to you. Okay. Um, but if you check the third modern slavery, third type of modern slavery, countries from East, because they have a low salary, yes, people will come now and say why they stay in their countries and don't go in West. Correct. They come a lot in West. A lot of them come in West to work. By the way, when they come in West, exists possibility for the same job a guy who is citizen of that country to have a salary and a guy who's not citizen in the country to have half or 80% of for the same job. That's the third type of modern slavery. And here it's not just IT, can be all fields. And in that moment, yes, it's wrong also because the Western companies or Western authorities will let that. Okay, not just East. So this is this is modern slavery, in my opinion. Modern slavery is when you are forced, and it's not necessary to be forced by muscles to beat you to do something. They can force you by economic part. When you have a poor economy in your country and work with 1,000 euros, not 3,000 euros, for the same type of job, the same level, entry or middle level, the same thing, is modern slavery because you are part in the same group named EU. Um, when you come from East in West and work for 80, 70, 60% of a salary from of a citizen. So if someone have here 2,000 euros to say in West, or 3,000 euros in West. Someone who come from East probably have 1,800, 1,600 euros after the taxes, I mean, and monthly. In that moment, is possibility of modern slavery because it's the same type, the same job. Why that and why that? Okay, people will come and say, go back in your country, and they will go back in their country, and they will be hit by that economy, bad economy, and they will need to work for low price 1,000, not 3,000. Now you understand why all this cycle produce modern slavery, in my opinion. All this cycle can produce modern possibility of modern slavery. And this cycle, I didn't see people in high level, higher position, like big high hotshots from authorities or governments and so on, to do something. Why? Because they like it. And why they like it? From East, they like it because they can go in East and have salaries, have employees with half or 60 or 70%. So they optimize their budget, they maximize the profit. Fine. And people from East, what they will do? Nothing, because they can't. When they come here, they will have lower salary than a citizen of the country. Go back, because oh, go back, go back. They go back in their country. They will be hit by the real economy from their country, from East, when the salaries are half or less than half than in West. So that's why, in my opinion, exist two types of countries in EU. Real EU countries like Germany, France, and so on and so on, a core of EU countries, and second-hand EU countries like Romania, Bulgaria, and others. So that's why probably exists also this big difference of salaries, big difference of why some countries from EU don't have EU the euro. Sorry, why not all countries to have euro? Well, not all countries to be in Schengen zone because some of the core countries probably are good in EU and the others are used in EU. Probably exists a possibility. I don't say yes, I don't say no. I love EU. I love a real EU who everybody's there and can be on the same place, peer to peer, to say like that, and the same level, and everybody can participate to construct the EU. Yes, that's EU what I see. Um, in IT, apparently it's the same. In IT, it's a lack of software developers on the market. Now you know why. I will finish my exposure, my presentation, with something who probably everybody knows: IT recruiters. IT recruiters, in my opinion, in at least half of Europe, including here UK, because I said Europe, not EU. Um they are under the sea level. Guys, honest. What the guys do is just to check some keywords and after this to call. Basically, after they call, to ask you the same five questions: how much you want, if you're available, and what you want, and put you another two red line questions, red paper question. Basically, they will send your CV to a hiring manager, to the company who is their client. What IT recruiters do, again, can go to modern slavery. When they see you, if you are or not part of the country. If you're not a citizen, let's see. Even if I know all countries have some laws against this. Exists possibility, I'm saying like a possibility with questions, with question marks. Also, when half of them probably they really I don't know why they are there because they need to be secretary, not not IT recruiters. Uh, I I saw IT recruiters who didn't know .NET actually is a Microsoft technology, but they want to hire a .NET developer. And so on and so on, you know? So in this case, also IT recruiters are basically, I don't know how they are hired. The companies take them like bank, have, done, go, and their salaries are very low. I understand what I understood from talking with people. Their salaries are low, so in this case, probably they don't care too much. They care to take you, to put you in contact with them, to have a meeting, an interview. In that moment, they take some money, and that's it, done. So basically, the companies, agencies, they are interested more than their clients. I mean, companies who hire than the applicant, and that's a discrimination. Why? Because without applicant, you don't have nothing to sell to the company, to your client. But they don't care. So again, it's a big issue also there. Can be or can be or cannot be modern slavery. You need to decide in that part. Like you need to decide in everything. I just put a big question mark about this subject. I hope all this presentation to be helpful for software developers, for IT professionals in general, also for IT managers who want to be real IT managers in technical part, not some guys who want to be managers. Okay, so for everybody who see this, again, this is my personal opinion. It's what I detected in 20 years of working in IT on all levels possible. A guy like me who's post-graduating computer science, so I have all education and technical education in IT. Till next time, see you guys. Bye bye.